Good day again. Haha, why is it upside down? We're celebrating Australia today. I know, terrible joke really, but it all makes sense in a minute. I'll tell you what's been happening, what's going on, and why I've had a lot of contributions from Australia. So I had a contribution from John in Beachmere, there it is, circled, and he said, would you like to see Bert and Kimber's distant cousins in Australia, the black swans of Australia? There they are. So he sent me those in. Very much appreciated. Thank you very much, John. Lovely. But that's not all from Australia. Oh no. Now, across the way there, where that row of buildings ends, it used to come up a bit further. I've shown this picture before, or one similar to it, of the shop, W.H. Hayman, that used to be there. But did you know that that was actually the gran and grandmother of another couple of Australians, Elizabeth and Dave, who sent me this in? They used to visit and grow up and see her regularly. And if you look carefully on the picture, you'll see her grandmother looking out the window. It was a shop belonging to her grandfather, William. He was a builder and a stonemason. She remembers the shop having examples of gravestones and shelves with tins of paint in it. And Grandma Violet looking out the window. Lovely. Thanks for that. And also, looking in the opposite direction, you can see the church and that row of houses, which will feature in the picture. As you can see, the steps there, they won't be built in this picture. And this is where she took a picture on the same day in 1972, looking that way. There we go. Wow, that's amazing. So there's no steps there to begin with. That's one difference. There's a little white picket fence there to the right, which I remember walking past every time I walked into town with Mum. Just round the corner, a bit further on out of shop, would have been the Railway Hotel, which is long since gone. But yes, very recognisable, very familiar. Lovely. Smashing. Thank you ever so much for that, Elizabeth. Much appreciated. Cheers. So there we go. That would have been roughly there where that little entrance of the car park is. Crazy. Crazy. Thanks ever so much for those. Absolutely smashing. That little white fence, like I said, remember that well. Walking past it every time I walked into town with Mum. Anyway, another thing Elizabeth has done very kindly is she's just made a small donation on the donation page and said, could I get something for Mum for it? So I've said yes, I'll get Mum her cake when the farmers market's on. And guess what? Farmers market's on today, so we're heading down there now to get Mum her cake, courtesy of Elizabeth in Australia. Lovely. Thank you ever so much. And we got some more pictures from Elizabeth to come soon once I got the cake delivered. Have to do it this way, make sure that it's still here. See, if I leave it till the end of the walk, it will be sold out. Oh, that's where they normally are. Oh dear. Well, it looks like they're not here today. That's a shame. Just double check, of course. No, not here today. No, not up here either. Got our usual climate activists in the triangle there by the fountain, as it's Saturday morning, but no sign here. Oh well, like I said, you can see the space there where they normally are. Never mind, hopefully they'll be back next time. Right, well I better head up and tell Mum about it rather than try and ring her and get her to try and get to the phone. Otherwise she'll be wondering where I am. But that's okay, because I was planning to go up this way anyway and come back out in a different direction to get to some next photos from Elizabeth, which are really nice, and they're from the carnival in 1971. Lovely. Here we go again. It's about half hour later now, and this time we're no longer upside down. But I don't mean to say the pictures are finished. Oh no, Got to get to a different location. Round by where the old freezer shop was. Anyway, we'll get there and I'll show you the picture. There we go, down past the still standing roundabout. There he is, still standing. Across the road, just down to there actually. That's where we're heading. Look at those three buildings there in the centre. They'll play into it. There we go, the next two pictures. One's over that way and one's just over that way. So we'll line them up as best we can. Take it from there. Can't line it up exactly because I can't go in the middle of the road. But here we go. 1971 Carnival. Thank you very much, Elizabeth. Much appreciated. Back when the carnival was indeed the Carnival, and not the sanitised or non-existent version we have today. And here's the second pic. You see the building on the right, and on the left you can see the window there. Here we go. Yep, that was indeed the Carnival. Lovely. Lovely. And we do have one more of those to come a little bit later on. Got to go down and see the Shaldon Bakery has opened its doors today. So we'll go down and see that. So yes, the Shaldon Bakery's relocated premises of what was the old S.J. Dole's shop, which sold the school uniforms and sporting goods back in the day. On the corner here was the fudge shop for a while. They're open today, so we're going to go and get our first glimpse of it. There we go, first glimpse of the new signage across the road there. Shaldon Bakery, lovely. Smashing, that's nice. Nice simple graphics. What we got? Beautiful Devon, clotted cream fudge, crab poo. How lovely! How delightful! Oh, so that's the best one. Must get some of that. Lovely. There we go, Shaldon Bakery, baking things better. Right here on the corner, in the main street. Sourdough, multi-seed loaf, sandwich loaves, cookies. Let's go in and get Mum a treat. Right, well, I didn't grab anything in the end because the soft stuff was still in the oven, so I might try and see about getting it on the way back. Just realised I'm going the wrong way. Going to turn around and go back. So I'm missing out on one of my photo locations. That's no good, is it? No good at all. Right, I wanted to come around here to line up a shot of the carnival again. Last one of the day. And just overhead to the left, you see a building there, Smarter Accounting. Of course, that used to be the NatWest Bank back in the day. I think around about here, roughly. Let's see, here we go. Look at that, back when it was NatWest. Smashing. Towards the left, you can see a little sign on the building on the left, which is now Bradley's. That was a restaurant upstairs. And there we go, there's our shot of the carnival from Elizabeth. Thank you very much indeed. Cheers. So we're heading over now to the new quay, to the back beach, because today is also the launch date of LJ's Beach Shack, running from the new Quay Inn. And should be quite a few people there for the launch, because he's got a hog roast. And the first 100 people who rock up will get a piece of the hog roast and a cake, completely free. Lovely. Have to fight the crowds just to get a photo. Northumberland Place, relish over there. People going in, doing good business, excellent. Talents News was McGeary's back in the day when I was younger. Went to school with the lads from there, two brothers. Milo's Cafe, one of the newer places. Harbour Fish Bar, open. Of course, it's much later today. I've deliberately hung back so I can catch the LJ's opening rather than coming out at my normal time, which would have been a bit earlier. There's a nice queue there waiting for the fish car. And over there's a tattooist, the Ink Spot, I believe. And there's that pirate we were talking about, Peyton. I said, looks a bit like that. Same sort of thing, isn't it? Lovely. The books they do for children these days, Bum or Face, what are you looking at? Blimey. Here we go, we're approaching the back of the new Quay Inn now. Oh, no crowds. No crowds. Well, there we go. That's what he's doing. He's doing it from that window there. Serving from the onto the back beach from that window. That's the new LJ's Beach Shack. That's the area that he's got in front of him. And I'm surprised there's not a few more people there. But then again, he may not be ready yet because the window is still up. Let's go and have a look at the price list. There we are, that makes a bit more sense. He's not doing it from the hatch, he's doing it from the frontier. Says everyone queuing up. Excellent. Excellent. So that's the relaunch today. There he is. Best of luck to him. Best of luck, mate. Very droll. Very droll. One last shot before we leave him to it. I've decided to head home, up past the den. Why not? There's a little display waiting to come out in full force for summer. Fantastic that is, when that goes. Fantastic display. Some sort of seagull drama going on here. There we are, first sign of summer. Inflatables on the den. Lovely. Nothing to report at the demolition site. No major changes there, I'm afraid. And here we go from the low tide in Teignmouth. Obviously like yesterday. Thought I'd wander down onto the beach itself. Walk underneath the pier. Why not? The amount of times I come along and I couldn't do it if I wanted to. Well, I've got pictures and I want to get down here and I can't do that. That's another one, isn't it? So here we are under the pier. Rarely see those groins, do we? They're normally underwater. Head back up onto solid ground now. And regular viewers may remember Scott and Mark, who have a dog called Boo Boo, which I feature every time I see them, whenever they're down in Teignmouth. And believe it or not, I've heard on the grapevine there might be a Boo Boo about. Not necessarily at this moment, but as far as in Teignmouth, possibly at the Clifton Hotel this time. So that'll be interesting. So when we bump into them, that grants me access to the Clifton Hotel and the grounds, doesn't it? Lovely. So get some shots of that when I see him. Smashing. It's certainly been a breezy one again today, but it's not too cold, so it's all right. Very busy down here though, isn't it? Traffic-wise. Just pop back to see if they've turned up. But no, their space is still empty. I guess there must be some sort of problem because the local people at Teignmouth, so it wouldn't be like a transport thing. And also, if they said we're not doing it anymore, I expect that space would be rented out by now. So there we go. All the climate activists have gone from the fountain now, so obviously climate crisis solved. Excellent. Back to where we started. We're just over there. Would be where the Hayman shop was. Crazy. So there we go. Hope you enjoyed Australia Day, so to speak. Many thanks to Elizabeth and Dave and John for the lovely pictures. And that's wonderful. We've covered the Shaldon Bakery reopening, and we covered LJ's relaunch as LJ's Kitchen. So hopefully you'll join me again tomorrow. It's Sunday. Won't be going very far, probably just down the seawall, but why not? Lovely. See you then, hopefully. Take care. Bye.